Hey everyone, so today I really wanted to get at least a little something out for you while I'm still working on some nice juicy content, so I thought why not give you some video ideas for your own channels and your own projects if you just want some ideas or you're just really stuck or something. I thought this could maybe be fun. Now, some of what I'm going to suggest is probably well known to you, but I tried to also at least throw in a few things that aren't as common or are just not as heavily used in the LPS community, but are still fun ideas and things that you can do. So let's just get right into it. Alright, number one is you can make top 10 videos. Now obviously you can do more than 10 if you would like to, but usually these are like top 10, like your top 10 favorite LPS, your top 10 least favorite LPS, your top 10 LPS videos that you've made, your top 10 favorite characters that you've made or from others. You can take it in like plenty of different ways, so feel free to play around with this with the top 10, whatever you want it to be. Alright, number two is reaction videos, which I feel like is a little bit less common, or maybe it's just that I haven't watched enough of them. I don't see them pop up that much, but that could just be me. But perhaps, you know, you want to react to like the first video that you ever made on your channel. You want to go back and look at it and react and sort of give it like a review or just talk about like how you've grown and stuff. That's definitely an option. Or maybe you want to react to your very first series that you ever made. Or if you're really into a particular series by somebody else right now, maybe you want to share your thoughts and your predictions. Just be sure that if you go with the one I just mentioned, that you warn people about any potential spoilers in what you're talking about, just so you don't spoil something for anybody else, but I'm sure you all would do that anyway because you're all lovely people. Number three is drawing LPS. Now, this won't necessarily work for everybody, but that doesn't mean you can't do it anyway and just have fun with it. This I think would definitely work good if you are really into art and you really like to draw, and especially if you really like to draw LPS, which is what this would be about. You could try making like just a fun little speed paint or time-lapse video of yourself drawing one or more LPS, or maybe if you want to fill like a sketchbook page with some LPS drawings. I've seen a few people that have done things sort of like this, and I think it's cool. This could also be painting or sculpting out of clay, or you could crochet, watercolor. It doesn't have to just be like pencil and paper or markers or digital. There's a lot of ways you can take it if you want to just get creative with it. You could even do like cross stitch or knitting or honestly whatever you want to do. Number four is collection tour. This is another video that I think is pretty well known within the community, and I think it's a video, like a type of video that never truly goes out of style, at least in my opinion. I myself still enjoy a good collection video in the evening with a nice salty snack, or honestly any type of day, but any point in the day, I mean. But I just feel like this is something that you can probably never go wrong with, just to have this like every now and then if you put out a little collection tour. So this can include your entire collection, or you could break it into categories if you prefer. You can show all of your main fives in one video, which I know a lot of people like to do that, or a lot of people also like to break it up by the mold, so one video for the short hairs, one video for the collies, one video for the Great Danes, one for the and so on until you've done all of the main fives. I think that's pretty common and popular, and I do enjoy those videos, so I think that's a fun way to do it. But you don't have to do just that. You can also share your all-time favorite pets from your collection if you want to, or you can showcase all of your LPS customs that you've purchased, or maybe if you make them, you can show all of your favorites that you've made. There's just a lot that you can do with this one too. I feel like a lot of the things that I'm just giving you like ideas for, you can take it a lot of different ways and just have fun with it. Number 5 is tags. This, I think, is a type of video that isn't necessarily as popular as it once was, but that doesn't mean you can't still have fun with it. Remember, at the end of the day, as I said, we're all here to have fun. So if you still love tags, I do know that they still happen. People do still do them. I've seen people recently that have done a couple. So you just have to please yourself. And I know of quite a few tags at this point, not like, I guess it's really only a handful, but still, there's more now than when I first started into LPS Instagram and LPS YouTube. So some of the tags that I know exist include the rainbow tag, the LPS tuber tag, the adult LPS tuber tag, which was created by my dear friend Liz on their channel. So if you do that one, please make sure to give a little credit to them. And I know that somebody also made an ultimate LPS tuber tag, so those are the ones that I'm currently aware of, and I'm sure there's probably more that maybe I'm not aware of right now that exist. Or you're also free to make your own tag if you are inspired to do that. Just make sure that you don't like completely copy something that already exists, but I have complete faith that none of you would do that, so I'm sure you'll be just fine. Number 6, this one is also super common, but I wanted to put it on here anyway, and that's music videos. Although this is, you know, as I said, very common, and I'd say almost all LPS tubers have made one at least once or twice on their channel. Some people make a lot of them, and I think they're really cool. And I still really enjoy watching these. I watch a variety of different ones fairly often. Sometimes I just want something like a little something short to watch. And those are definitely fun for that. And I also feel like this is a good option, or like at least like a fun option, if you want something to post between like story content or episodes for like a series. I feel like it works, really good between like stuff like that. Or if you just want something that might take a little bit less time to make. Number 7 is DIYs. So DIYs are something that never seems to lose its usefulness, I feel. There's always going to be somebody out there who really wants to know how to make that desk for a school setting, or how to make a really cute little bow for their characters, or whatever it is that somebody would like to know. If you've got knowledge and you'd like to make a video from it, I promise you it is going to be useful to at least a few people out there, if not plenty of people, because even I might have a decent selection of furniture now, but I'm always happy to learn about how to make stuff on my own. And, you know, it's another, like, usually a little bit of an easier video to make. It doesn't take as much prep. Well, I guess that maybe it does, depending on what you're making. But if you're doing something a little more simple, like how to make an LPS desk out of cardboard, that doesn't take as much preparation as like filming a really long like series episode, or filming a full-on LPS film. That would take more work, and this is something a little bit easier if you just want something fun to do. Number 8 is character shorts. This is something that I feel like isn't as common in the LPS tube community. Now obviously they do exist, and I've seen a number of them, but I find that I tend to only see them from certain LPS tubers, or they're just not necessarily as well known as a type of thing you can make. Maybe I'm wrong. If I am, then I will completely admit to it, but that's just, I don't feel like I see these as often. But I think that I definitely recommend these if you are looking for a way to talk more about a specific character, or even like a couple of characters. This can include diving into a fun or important piece of a character's past, looking closer into a side character maybe that you wish had some more screen time, or you want to explain them a little bit more, or just go into more depth, or perhaps even a couple, like a romantic couple, or a friendship, or like a parent and a child, or just, you can take it in a lot of different ways. But the point is, it's like something smaller. I think they're usually around like even as short as like 3 minutes to like, I would say probably don't go over maybe like 12 minutes, because then I think it starts to feel a little bit more like the length of a short film as opposed to a character short, because the word short is in the title for a reason. But you can take it and play around with the length. So there is some variability in there. It can be like super short, just a quick little scene, or you can just have a little like mini backstory or whatever you want to do with it. There are lots of options. Number 9 is clothing hauls. If you couldn't tell, I really love clothing hauls. But that's just me. I know they're not for everyone. But I think that clothing hauls are actually a type of haul video that I don't honestly see a ton of people making. I can think of 3 people aside from myself that have created little like clothing hauls, but I can only think of 2 people, including myself, that consistently make them when they buy clothes. So I feel like this is something that isn't fully tapped into just yet, and something that not a ton of people make. So if you want something that's a little, I don't know if you want to say different, because it does exist, but something that isn't necessarily as common, and you're really into fashion and maybe you just ordered some new clothes, you can definitely make a haul video for them. Even if, you know, you happen to purchase some new threads for your pets, or you're trying out a new eBay or Etsy store with LPS clothes, or maybe you're buying for the first time from a lovely Instagram fashionista or fashion icon. Whatever it is that you're buying clothes for, even if it's just like Hasbro clothing, you could totally still make a haul video out of it if you just want something to make and you don't necessarily have content right now. This is another good little thing that you can just pop out. It doesn't take as much effort, I don't think, because you're just reviewing what you bought. And speaking of hauls, I feel it's only right if I mention regular haul videos as well. So that's number 10, is just sort of like regular hauls. Like if you just want to do a haul for LPS, even though dozens and dozens of them exist, this is something that I think never really gets old or super tiresome, because there's always people that still like to see what you got, any deals you got, and it's also a really good chance for viewers to figure out like, oh, there's this new store that you just bought pets from. Oh, well, I'd like to know where I can get good deals too, because people both want to see the video that you made and see the pets that you bought, but they also see it as an opportunity to potentially find new places to buy pets for themselves, and it can help out your audience to know like where to get good deals, or just where to get like reliable sellers and stuff like that. And I think that's really cool. Okay, number 11 is short films. Now this is another type of video I'm sure at least most of us are familiar with, but I still wanted to include it. So personally for me, short films are some, if not my favorite type of video to make. You can tell a really great story, but it only takes usually around 16 to 30 minutes, or, you know, a little shorter if you prefer, but I would steer away from making it less than like 9 to 10 minutes, because then it starts feeling really short. But that's just me. You are free to do whatever length of short film you would like, and even if you make one and you really love the characters and you really want to keep the story going, it always leaves room for you to make a part 2 or even a part 3 if you're really interested and your viewers are also really interested and you want to keep. It's just something that I definitely highly recommend. It's just really good, especially if you're just starting out making story content. This is something that I personally would recommend starting with this, or like a skit, or just something a little bit smaller as opposed to a full-on series, because they take a lot of work, and they take a lot more effort than putting out something like that, and they take a lot of planning and all that good stuff. So I definitely recommend this if you're just starting or you want to know something that's good to start with. I think this is definitely a nice safe option, and people really do tend to like short films, so it's also a good sort of starting point to, I think, get you some views, hopefully. Number 12 is a room tour. Now this is something I only recommend if you're comfortable with it. You are certainly under no obligation as an LPS content creator to show off your room. But if you'd like to show it off, or maybe you just want to show off how you display your pets or how you organize your accessories, how your filming studio is set up, and things like that, a little room tour is definitely a fun option. You don't even have to show your whole room if you don't want to. You can just always show the parts that you want to show and the parts that are the most LPS related. And you can just put that into a quick little video and show off those parts and do a little chit chat with your viewers, and that's totally cool. And this is also, I think, an option if you just want to get a little more personal and like relatable and cozy with your viewers. Well, that might sound a little weird to say it like that, but what I mean is if you want to connect a little bit more with your viewers and just have like them see your space and just to feel a little more like personally connected, so they can feel a little more connected to you and you can feel a little more connected to them. Number 13 is childhood pets. Now, depending on how many pets you have from your childhood, this could either be a fun little video or a longer sort of collection type video. But at the same time, you're not obligated to show every single pet from your collection if you wanted to do this type of video. But this can be fun, I think, as a way to like reconnect with your childhood pets and showcase where it all started, like where you first began in your journey to living LPS. If you have a lot of pets and you don't want to show them all, you could always just pick out your favorites from your childhood and showcase them in a video. And feel free to add in like any little bits of info about like where you got them or who maybe gave them to you, or any of your favorite like fun or silly memories with these pets. Number 14 is tips and tricks. Maybe you've been doing LPS Tube for a little while now and you'd like to share some tips and tricks that you've learned over the years. There's always people out there, I feel like, who are going to be eager to learn more about what it's like being on LPS Tube and things to maybe avoid and things to try out. This is another video that I think is pretty easy if you have a good amount of things that you feel like you'd like to talk about, and it doesn't take as much preparation or time to film. You just have to maybe do up like a little script or at least a list of the stuff you want to talk about so you don't forget or miss anything that you wanted to say. And feel free to share things like things that you recommend, and this can include like types of lighting, video editors, where to buy props and backgrounds and furniture and stuff like that. Just really anything that you think is going to be useful for whoever is viewing it, or anybody who's like maybe just starting out, or anybody that wants to learn more. Number 15 is skits and comedy videos. This is, I think, a great option if you want to produce something that's a little more along the lines of silly and fun. So, for example, on my own channel a few months ago, I made a video titled Gay Memes with LPS, which is and was entirely created to be silly, fun, and lighthearted. It's not meant to be taken super seriously. And most people, if not everyone, like a good laugh now and then, and they just want to watch something a little less serious sometimes. I think there's a lot of people like that, including myself. So I feel like a silly sort of skit or just something more fun is usually gonna do like pretty good with at least a lot of people, because, you know, who doesn't like a good laugh? I don't know. Number 16 is collaborations. I personally have not done this yet, but from any that I have seen just sort of pop up across LPS Tube, they do look quite fun, and that's just my opinion about it. But let's say you've gone to visit your long distance best friend who's really into LPS. Why not invite them to join your next video or to create something together if that's something that they're interested in participating in. This can include voice acting for a short film, helping out with a music video, creating a skit or something silly together, maybe ranking LPS together, or just generally whatever you'd like it to be that you want to do together. You can also collaborate with people from afar through coordination and planning and stuff. So if you want somebody to, like a friend who lives far away, and you'd like to include them in a video, you're free to just like connect online or even like video chat and plan it out, or just text and stuff like that. And there are always ways to include people who aren't physically with you into your videos as well. Number 17, ranking LPS. So this one, I don't think I see as often, but it is like semi-popular, maybe. I don't know. I feel like I can think of a few specific people that seem to like to do these kinds of videos sometimes, but I digress. So what I think things that you can like do for this, you could do ranking the top 5 molds, which is definitely something that has been done before, but everybody has their own views and opinions and takes, so you're free to like still do this and make it your own and just share your own views on the top 5 pets. You could also rank your favorite to least favorite molds in general, including like any mold at all. You could literally include anything, any generation of pet. Or speaking of that, you can also rank the different generations of LPS if you want to. That's, excuse me, something that is also, I think, enjoyed by several people. Or if you want to rank some LPS characters or something else. This is just yet another thing that you can take in honestly many different directions. Number 18 is organization videos. Now, I did briefly mention this a little bit when talking about a previous idea, but this is something that you can easily make a video on by itself. You can show how you You can show how you organize your LPS, how you display them, and you can also include facts like where you've gotten your displays from, or if you made something, maybe how you made it. You can sort, well, I cannot talk. You can show how you sort your accessories. This can be like little accessories or bigger accessories such as furniture, like beds and couches and like tables and stuff like that. Or you can show how you organize your LPS clothes, how you organize your customs, just anything like that you can make a video out of. It's another one of those like more on the easy side videos. Number 10 is 10 types of blank. These types of videos I feel like were extra popular at one point in time. Like you would see something like 10 types of people on Valentine's Day. Oh, I sounded so cringy, but it's fine. No, but I've seen something like that. Literally, there is a video out there that exists that is exactly that. But you can take this in a lot of different ways, and just because it's maybe not as popular as it once was doesn't mean that you can't still make something like this and completely enjoy it, because there are people that are still going to be really into that and really into those kinds of videos. And I will throw out just a few random examples if you just want some ideas, if you are interested in this option. So you could do 10 types of people at restaurants, or you could even pick a specific restaurant, like 10 types of people at Swiss Chalet, or I don't know, something like that. You could do 10 types of people at the mall, 10 types of people on their birthday, 10 types of people on Valentine's Day. But just if you do that one, I know that one already exists, so just maybe try to make it, put your own take on it and just maybe try to have it be a little unique. 10 types of kids at daycare. There's just so many ways you could take this. The possibilities are pretty much endless. Alright, we are at number 20 already. And it is none other than series. Yes, I felt like I had to include this even though it is super common and popular, but I wanted to include it anyway. I felt like I might as well. So this is something that has like a bajillion, kajillion, million, trillion different genres that you can work with for this. There's so much that you can dive into, or you can also dive into like multiple genres at once. I've definitely seen that done, and it's super cool. There is a lot more work with this series, as I have sort of mentioned in some of my other points, so be aware of that, which I'm sure you're thinking, well, no duh, of course it takes more time, it's a series. But sometimes I feel like, even myself included, I'll think that something is going to be a little bit easier than it actually is. That doesn't mean it's not fun and still worth it, but I just want you to know that a series does take a lot of effort and time and planning and scripting and and all that good stuff, especially if you have a very specific thought in mind. Sometimes you even have to hunt down the right props or make them and stuff like that. So just be aware when doing this option that it's not necessarily going to come out in just a few days. It's going to take a little extra time. And the only thing I would avoid maybe doing with this is just try not to copy and paste things that already exist. This is mostly, I'm thinking of like high school series. Now, of course, you definitely can make a high school series, and I know that you definitely can make something super awesome and unique, but that is sort of the point I'm trying to make. Just please don't make something that is just like something that already exists. Put your own spin on it, or, you know, at least change up the characters and the pets that you're using, and just make it at least have it so that it has at least like some of your own personal touch on it, and that it isn't just like a cookie cutter copy paste. I took this idea, I added these pets, let's make the exact same story. Now, I know this is something that I'm sure people have said before, and I'm not, of course, saying that, you know, oh, everybody that makes a high school series does the same thing, because no, of course not. There are plenty of really amazing, unique ideas out there. And I'm not saying that you can't follow like a trope or like a storyline that has been done already. Just, you know, put your own spin on it as well when you follow that idea. People are really gonna love your originality and what you offer to the table. I don't even want to know how long this video is going to be, but I think we got a little quicker at the end there, so that's a good thing. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Now you have a total of 20 ideas from me, which I know some of them have already been mentioned by other people in videos, but I tried to at least include a few things that are less common. But either way, I hope this list was at least a little bit helpful for you and has perhaps even inspired you in some way. And I'm also open if you have any questions, feel free to comment them down below. Or if you as a viewer have anything else to suggest that I did not include in my list that you would like to put for people to see in the comments, you are also welcome to do that. And people can always use more ideas, myself included. So this was also kind of helpful for me to have other things to keep in mind for my own channel. So yeah, I hope it was helpful for you, and I will see you again soon with some nice and juicy content. Alright, bye!